the GLA AMG. Been looking forward to driving this car actually. Coming around the back straight, let's put it in sports mode, manual. Man, this handcrafted 4-cylinder turbo. The distance between the turbo and the intake box is extremely short, so they've done a lot of stuff to really mitigate the turbo lag. And when you're in boost, it develops an immense amount of torque. I mean, it's just, there's so much torque from low end to mid range. It's just so much fun. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Off the line, here we go. Oh my god, I need to slow down. Yeah, the exhaust pops are insane. Okay, let's go back to comfort mode for a little bit now. Get it out of the manual and calm things down a little bit now. Whew, man, you could easily get in a lot of trouble with this car, Jesus.
Gauges are really nice with carbon texture, although I do find the 200-mile-an-hour speedo pretty funny. I wish the car had shift lights to add to the drama when going full throttle. It must be noted that only Apple CarPlay is available and no Android Auto. And of course it's not an AMG if you don't have 3 settings on your passenger front seat, is it? The AMG shifter makes its way to differentiate the car from normal GLAs.
So the shifter height should be really right here. I think what happened is they try to adapt this AMG shifter. This dash is at an angle, so the shifter feels extremely short. I think a lot of sports cars is more straight, so it works with a shorter shifter, but in this car it feels it's extremely low, especially when you're just cruising and you have your hand down. You're kind of going down further. I'm sure you get used to it over time, but just something I've noticed.
With the driver's side seat set up for my height at 6'1", my feet are a bit snug under the seat. Although not terrible, I wish I had a bit more knee room, but we're talking millimeters here. And the best amount of headroom can be had if you sit upright. In other seating positions, my head does touch the roof. This car has a nice thunking door like a proper Mercedes. And my tester came with nicely dressed metal pedals.
What do I think about the ride quality? I don't know if the AMG is still a run flat tire, but I'm actually blown away by how stiff this car rides. It doesn't exactly ride very comfortably, but of course that's for a standard as a Mercedes. If you consider it as a ride quality coming from like a stiff hot hatch, yeah, this is totally acceptable actually. So my test of modern day cars with throttle response is I'll just keep flapping my foot really fast back and forth. And of course it doesn't respond like an NA. I'm actually putting my foot to the floor like there. And it's starting to kick down, but the car's not going to do it back and forth, on and off the throttle. Do you really expect that from a 4-cylinder that's making almost what, high 300 horsepower. You gotta, it's kind of a give and take, right? I mean, you lose a response from a nice NA motor, but the mid-range torque you gain, I mean, just out of the hole, I'm in comfort and drive. Oh my God. Yeah, no. I mean, person who drives this is not gonna like take it to a track, and you know, that person is not looking for the last inch of response to control the chassis dynamics. So the people that talk about throttle responses on a regular car, unless it's actively getting in your way to drive the car on a daily basis, I don't think it's a very valid complaint. I know with modern day emission standards, there's some weird rev hang and, you know, stuff that really affect the throttle response, but I mean, because of so much mid-range torque you gain on this monster. Whew. And this thing sounds like a proper AMG also, just that it's not a V8 by any means, but that low growl you get from this car, it's certainly reminiscent of a lot of the AMGs that I've driven. So the owner of this car is actually building an RX-7, so that tells you what kind of owners buy these vehicles. It's almost like a grown-up EVO in a way. It's got all-wheel drive. It's got a decent amount of space for daily driving. Yeah, it's just that mix of practicality and performance, but still a ton of fun. I would say on a pyramid of, or a balance of a lot of things, this car definitely veers more towards the fun. So you do get that weird clutch engaging moment when you're getting off the line. Not fast out of the hole, but slowly cruising in. You're just waiting for those clutches to engage. So it's not the smoothest thing, but I think that's a very small complaint. And this flat bottom steering wheel, it's actually really nice to do left and right hand turns. I just put my hand on the flat area. It's almost giving me more leverage to turn the wheel. So it's actually pretty comfortable. And here we go, off the line. Yeah, you see there we go, the clutch, it just takes a little bit of a moment to engage the clutches. So that's just something you're just gonna have to get used to on the car. And then around the bend, it just feels, yeah, it just feels really planted. No reasons to go any faster on the public roads, I'd say. Comes the corner. Okay, a little bit of a push from the front end, but certainly nothing to be too concerned about. The chassis rigidity is really good. I would say overall, I mean, this is a very livable package. The ride is still shockingly stiff. I can't believe this. Coming up to a dip up here, I better slow down a bit so I don't scrape the nose off of this car. Yep. But having said that, because it is so stiff, you're not gonna bottom out on this car, so you could probably take those dips pretty fast. I don't want to scrape up my friend's car, so I'm just taking it easy. Okay, the interior pieces may not be up to your usual AMG standards, but if Mercedes will take some money off of the interior pieces to give me all of the technical, mechanical stuff that they've learned from Formula One, and they make it into an affordable package, by all means, please keep them coming, because this is great. Also, what's really interesting is a friend of mine that has a regular GLA, that car had a lot of creaks and weird sounds coming from the interior, but I don't know if it's because this is the AMG version or if that specific GLA had some sort of defect. This cabin just seems to be a lot tighter and not making any of the weird squeaks. Maybe the AMG line just has a different quality control. So overall, I think this is a great car for someone that wants to have a lot of fun and don't need a whole bunch of practicality. This should definitely be on your shopping list.
By the way, a lot of you are watching without subscribing. Be sure to subscribe for more contents that you won't want to miss. We'll be uploading car reviews as well as interviews with industry experts. Thanks for tuning into REVlogue. Bye now.